What's going on, guys? It is T90 Official, and welcome to the Legend of Hoang. At first glance, you're seeing that this is an Arabia map, and you're thinking, well, T90, we've had the Legend of Snippy, the Legend of Blue Coffee, the Legend of Fatsop, and the Legend of Harry Davis, where they're either king sniping, winning King of the Hill, or mass stonewalling, or playing Crater Lake. Well, yeah, this is a little bit different. This legend, he is known as an expert player to do something very different. And I'm excited to show you this here today. So there's a couple things I want to say first, just because there's so much you need to know before this. Hoang is 2.2k Vubli, which means that he is currently rated 52nd on the 1v1 ladder on the platform where all the pros play. So this weird strategy that he always does, that he is known for, and you will see, he does it consistently and he does it well. It is a Huns war because he does not play any other civilization. He does just Hoang things with Huns, and it is not played with the expansion and balance changes. So it is AOC Huns. So this is just classic stuff, and he's been doing this for years and years and years. Has not changed how he does it. So we're going to start this off in the traditional fashion with the introductions. Hoang is here in the blue. He's from Vietnam. In the red, we have Don Vergas. Don Vergas, I think, was 2.1k. Yeah, you can see the ratings there. So 2.1k. He's a Mexican player. He's here in the red. And the maps are incredibly open. Starting with Red's map, he has a back wood line. He also has a back gold. I noticed that he has a forward main stone and a forward secondary stone. Now, luckily for him, Hoang, he does one thing. So Hoang does not tower rush, spoiler alert. I don't think Red will be too worried, but he won't like the hills, that's for sure, as pressure will be coming in later on in this game. He has a second gold and some wood on the right, as well as a third. So I think most of the important resources for him are going to be awkward on the hills. Now, the players are very close together. It's another thing I've noticed here. And there's a forward sheep and a forward boar for Hoang here. He has a main gold and his main stone rather close to the town center. He can wall here, and that would secure those, so that's not too bad. And this wood line, two wood lines actually quite nice for him. Horrible deer, other boars on the back. His second and third golds on the left-hand side, so I guess there will be more focus on this one area of the screen. But already you can see Red's coming forward. And as far as I know, both of these guys don't shy away from laming, and oh yeah. See, Hoang's going to lose 2 sheep. So, most experts, they're pretty strict with their meta and their build orders. That's why they're so good. That's why there's a 3 militia drush. That's why there's a 22 population scouts and a standard archer build order. And so when I cast games, I normally know what they're going for because, well, I've trained myself to learn these things, and also I've just watched so many games. What makes Hoang special is that he has his own style. It shatters the metagame, and also, everyone knows he's going to do it, and he's still successful. He's 52nd currently on Vubli, and he's still successful with it, even though everyone knows it's coming. And I'm just going to tell you what it is. It is what I like to call a fdrush, or a forever drush. I patented that name when Red's stealing yet another sheep. Oh, and he's bringing in Hoang's boar. What? Okay. Hoang is down 3 sheep and a boar. Anyway, what Hoang does is what I call the fdrush. That's the only way I know how to describe it. It is not making 3 militia. It is making tons of militia in Dark Age. And then he likes to wall up, go to Castle Age, and then push. Now, normally if you make any more than 3 militia, you're extending your Dark Age for a very long time, and that's why we don't see other pros do it. Hoang is almost forced to do this, you would think, because he doesn't have resources. That's actually why I started doing the fdrush, because people would lame me. So we do see the barracks coming up. You also see the villagers going to gold, so he's collecting the gold for the militia. And luckily for him, he's found one of Red's boars, and he's just going to casually stroll back to his town center with one of Red's boars. So we have laming. Red. Ooh, Red could stop this. Will Red stop it? He has to get in front of the scout. He can now block the boar, Red. And this is always tough because you're trying to focus on your economy at the same time. Oh, a little bit of a misclick there from Hoang. He's close enough, though. I think he should get this, and Red will have to run because he'll run into the town center if he doesn't. Hoang has not made the militia yet. We will see it, guys, and like I said earlier, you are in for a treat with this player. So I think what I will do is I will show this game, which I believe is the first game they played on this day a few weeks back, and then I'll show the second game, just in case Don doesn't know Hoang's style, even though I think he does. I want to see how he responds to what Hoang does in game 1. Now, Hoang has to be careful about pushing out with his weak scout. Unfortunate for him that he had to weaken that to get the board back, but he got it. Is still down sheep, remember? So he will soon be out of food underneath his TC. We see 2 militia, and I'm guessing Don knows how Hoang plays because he's gone for 3 militia, and this is standard stuff to go with 3. There are reasons for that. I can get into it later, but I'd rather talk about the action now. So there's 3 militia for Hoang. And normally what you do for the standard 3 militia drush is you send 1 villager to gold, collect 10, and then you go back home and start collecting other resources and leave it at that. Well, Hoang, he builds a mining camp, and he consistently collects gold, and he's at 4 militia now. Again, running away with his weak scout. He's now at 5 militia, and he's not stopping here, guys. He is not stopping here. It's worth noting he has very little scouting info on his opponent's map because he had to lane with the scout. Luckily, keeping his scout alive. And it's Farmville back at Hoang's town. This is a lot of farms for the Dark Age. And he has 5 running forward, and he has the 6 now in his barracks. 6 militia drush incoming. Red has his full HP scout and his 3 militia on this hill. Maybe hesitant to push in because he knows how ham Hoang goes. But he has done a very good job here, and this is normally where I'm watching a pro player and I get very confused. Like, what on earth are you going to do with so many militia when your opponent has walls? The militia can't go through the walls. There's even deer back here for Red. Well, he's going to attack the barracks with the hill bonus. Meanwhile, he will have to fight with Vils and the... Oops, sorry about that. The new militia he's making back in his base, and Red is going to throw his advantage away here. Oh, I'm not streaming this, but that's what we would call a throw. And 9 military for Hoang in the Dark Age. The Red's going up to feudal. He can simply go to golds and make some archers to kill this, right? Well, he can't make an archery range if he doesn't have a barracks when he hits feudal. And all of these militia are forcing the repair out of the barracks. Are you kidding me? Now, guys, I saw the first 7 minutes of this game, so I kind of knew about those lames. I unfortunately realized I wasn't recording as it was commentating, so I got a bit of a preview. But I've not seen the rest of the game, if you were wondering. This is crazy. This is crazy. Hoang still has not clicked up to feudal. He's only at 200 some food. This barracks should be fine, but it's wasting a lot of wood for Red that he will want for the archers in the archery range. Look at this. I love it. I love it. 8 militia on the barracks. The scouts scouting around to see what Red will be doing. And what? Red has gone for a stable. Well, maybe Red is confused, because Hoang normally does his militia rush into full walls and then knights, but he's gonna try and maybe go fast castle off this, and Hoang's just gonna say, okay, I'm gonna run right in, buddy. Good luck dealing with this. Normally 3 militia don't kill villagers very easily, but when you have this many, you can kill vills, and oh my goodness, Red just doesn't know how to deal with this. 1 villager down. He's accidentally ungarrisoned these vills. He's panicked big time. You see a few idols. And he's gonna have to make scouts. Now, scouts would still do a lot of damage to militia, but it's not gonna help when you're losing berry villagers. Look at the bad pathing here for Red. He's gonna lose his 3rd villager for sure. Unfreaking believable. It's all falling apart for him. He kind of walled off his gold and his wood. I know this doesn't look like a high level, but that's because Hoang does this so well. It looked like a hole there, but there's no hole. We gotta click the tree to see the white box. So, yep. No hole. Hoang is just holding his control here. Red probably feels like he needs to go forward because Hoang had so much time in the Dark Age to do just what Hoang does well, and that is boom up. And with those farms are going to take him to castle, he just needs to go with his buildings. He's going with an archer range, blacksmith stable, and we have forward villagers now from Red. So honestly, this is a great decision because he is kind of struggling now, and he knows that Hoang will go to castle age. The scouts will kill all of the militia, so I'd say that was certainly worth it. And now he's going with a forward tower, which Hoang does not see. Well, now he sees. And this is going to be awkward. Hoang wants to click up to castle age. We have forward villagers. Red with the tower, which could weaken some villagers. And the scouts should be coming forward soon. Now Hoang clicks to castle. He commits so many vills to batter this down. And also looks like he wants to build his own tower. He should get this, I think. Oh my goodness, the repairs are so close. But yes, he will get this. And now Red. This is trouble. There should be a way. Yeah, there we go. There's a new feature that allows me to switch player point of view. And oh, he's committing with scouts now, Red. But the spears are already out from Hoang. He knew about those units, obviously, earlier. He saw them. Oh my goodness, what a freaking mess, guys. What? How do you even cast this? Can somebody send me some advice on how to cast a Vil fight? I'd appreciate it. It wasn't too bad for Red. I mean, he has weak Vils and now he has to run. Like, it wasn't bad when it comes to losses. The KD's similar, but it's bad because Hoang's on the way to castle. And Hoang, if he uses his scout correctly, I think he could one-shot a couple of these Vils. Yeah, those two Vils are on 2 HP. This one's on 4 HP. And now it's kind of panic mode for Red. Making feudal age military that won't be able to contribute. And Hoang, after losing his boar, recovered with the lame. He made 8 militia. It hasn't been pretty the entire time for sure. His economy isn't even that balanced. He has way too many villagers on gold for going with knights. But he will have the castle age upgrade, and one knight could clean all of this up. Hoang games are never long games. They're normally relatively short. And yes, these weak Vils, they're gonna YOLO this. And I assume Red will have to GG this. He's losing more and more villagers. Well, let's see. Weak Vil there. One shot. Weak Vil here. Well, she's not getting focused on. Hey, go ahead, Red. Try and wall off your tower. That's not going to work when there's knights and cav archers there. And yeah, that was rather short. But that is what Hoang does every single game. Now, this one was a bit different. I'm going to get you into the next game here in a moment. But he tends to always do this, and he's very successful with it. So, I think the talking points here... The drush is meant to delay your opponent to give yourself time. So, we normally see 3 militia, and it's enough for most pro players to go 3 militia and then wall and go into castle sometimes. But Hoang makes 8. So I guess if you can use your militia effectively, you can afford to stay in Dark Age for that much longer. And then he had a pretty solid castle time there, despite losing out on the sheep and that boar for a while and ruining his build order. So I guess that's something to keep in mind. You know, we put a lot of focus on what that meta game is, but at the end of the day, a drush, even if it is a fdrush, a forever drush, is meant to delay economy, and he certainly did that here. Maybe had he not committed through the town center, it wouldn't have worked out as well. Red arguably could have gone for an archer range. Red probably should have walled this off. Of course, there were mistakes made here, but it's a crazy strat. Let me get you right into the next game. Is this it? I think this is it, guys. So I don't even need to edit that. That's wonderful. So we have another game. again, I believe this was the game they played second. We just saw the first game. I believe this was the second one. And we have Hoang again in the blue versus the same player, Don. This is played on the same day. Ooh, Don with a really tough start. That does happen. Like once in every 100 games, you struggle with your sheep like that. No, luckily, he found them. And let's talk about the maps. And now we have a little bit of insight on how Hoang plays, right? So Hoang, again, a 2.2k Voobly player, very strong player who does almost the same thing every time. And he has a very open map. He has woodline on the right, but that's closer to his opponent than he would like. And there's lots of hills. He has his 2 golds here. One is forward on that massive hill. He has his main gold pretty close. Normally, I'd say this is nice. You can build a barracks on the front or maybe wall in toward your town center and secure that. This wood is good. I also like this stone position because if I know a guy is going for a drush of some kind, if I know a guy is trying to stay in the Dark Age longer, but he does not have access to his defensive towers, I might consider going fast to feudal and towering him. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, he does have a secondary stone here, of course. It's just, he is in a crater, and this is the worst kind of map for Hoang. Now again, I've seen the first couple minutes of this. I've not seen the entirety of the game. Red's map. I mean, at least they both have awful maps. This is just crazy. His best wood line is forward on his hill. There's just a massive hill right in between both players. So aggression will be favored. Then his other wood would be way out here. He doesn't have any wood behind his TC. Does have his main gold though. This little piece of gold that reminds me of Tetris, right? Like if we could get this gold to fit in this gold, it would be so satisfying. We need an Age of Empires Tetris game. Or flip-flop it around and get the L shape to fit there. It'd be beautiful. Hoang's scout is already forward. And we did see how Don stole his boar last time, so maybe Hoang was looking for a little bit of revenge. I don't think he will be able to lame a boar now because he ran into the town center there. He's getting good scouting info in, if you'd want to be aggressive, just trying to see where that other boar is for Red. It's way out here, and he's going to snag it now. So it's 4 on wood start for Hoang. Again, his build order is very different because he's going to gold prior to building the mill, which means he might build the barracks prior to building the mill. This is a much earlier drush than what we would see with other players. But I guess that makes sense if you're going to commit as much as Hoang does. Like again, it's weird. He has 5 on wood now, and he had 2 here on stragglers a moment ago. Hoang is just a different kind of player. And while he normally heavily relies on walls, I don't see him being able to do that on this one because it's so open. Red, again, knows Hoang's style, I think. His build seems pretty set up towards either scouts or fast feudal towers. He has only 2 on wood, which means he won't be able to afford what you'd normally want to afford if you're going with the scouts. Okay. Well, what we know is there's 2 forward stones here for Red. So he could be towered. It's just that, again, Hoang doesn't really like to do that. I think oftentimes when you have maps like this for both of them, it's probably better to be aggressive. And Red sees that this villager's on gold. He's likely not surprised. Hoang researching Loom at this point. But he's going to have to send this build back with... Sorry, I was trying to switch player point of views. Yeah, there we go. I guess he only had 6 gold. But he's sending 2 more out to gold. He's making them malicious, so he's going for the drush again. This is all expected by Red. Well, what will Red do? 21 population. Oh, he's going to stone, so he's going to tower rush. With a lot of vills as well. He's going forward with 7 vills. So when you go up this early, that means that you cannot make a barracks, you cannot make any form of defense, and you commit so many vills forward into it as well. Okay, so he's going to tower. He has seen this gold here. He has seen the wood. This would be a great place to tower, and I think he's going to try and avoid Hoang's scout. Now, does Hoang see the villagers on stone? He does. So Hoang should know what's coming here. Hoang has 3 militia going forwards, and he's making his 5th now. His 4th sees the scout. Does not see the villagers from red, though. If he commits forward with the militia, he will run into palisade walls. Red has done a nice thing there. This is so awesome. This is so awesome. Okay, building an outpost so he can see any pressure that might come in. When you go with a drush, you're not in feudal to build defensive towers. Oh, he's going outpost crazy here. 3 outposts, maybe a 4th here. Oh, and he sees one vill, he sees another. Again, that's if he's paying attention to it. That's a lot of vills from red to build towers. Oh, and he spots it. Okay, so he sees it coming in. Red should probably build his first tower and then try and set himself up to build the second. And if you know this is happening, sometimes you have to rush it down with vills, but you cannot approach a tower that's going up that fast. And that means red will easily be able to build the second. And Hoang, what can he do? Militia die to towers. Hoang has 6 militia. He does not have the food to click up to feudal. He really can't fight this now either if red does this correctly. This might be 1 tile too far actually, but if red does this correctly, this tower will provide cover for this one. Yeah, I think that'll be enough for this to go up. He misplaced it a bit. I love user patch. I'm still trying to get used to it, but there's a new feature that allows me to change player point of views. If I like hold shift and click. Anyway, this is messy. This is for sure messy, but it's messy for both. And I heavily favor red's position. Like, he has weak villagers, of course. He's lost his scout, but this tower will go up. The real question we need to find an answer to now is if this tower provides full cover here, and it does. So, look at the KD. Hoang could lose this one. Hoang having to run away with vills. He did make a palisade wall. But he's still in Dark Age. He could lose access to his wood. He could lose access to his gold. He's already left the gold, and he's trying to wall up as fast as possible. If he was in feudal, he could upgrade those militia to man-at-arms if he even had any left and run forward. He could even counter tower this stone or offensive tower this stone and take this one. But he needs to buy himself some time now, and I really like red strat. I think this is a strong strategy. Good scouting from him as well. Especially on a map like this, I think that this strats can be very successful because he needs to have protection at home. And the best way to protect yourself is to keep Hoang distracted back at his own base. Now, this is definitely a YOLO tower rush. Hoang can't build any more walls here, so these villagers and the tower are gonna start attacking this now to get in to build another tower. Hoang is on his way to feudal. That's going to be a 16-minute feudal time. And I'd say so far his extra militia have not done anything, so maybe red finally is found a way to beat this guy. Now, they played 4 games. I won't spoil the result till afterwards, but it was a struggle for red. He definitely chose a different strategy this time. He lamed him last time and he couldn't beat him. Hoang has a lot of farms. He's going to have a lot more resources. He does have a barracks, which in turn means he can make an archer range. But he can't really take... I mean, he could take this gold, I guess, because this and this is denied. But he's not on gold to make archers, so he might make something like scouts instead, which, again, is just so late. Red would have the time to build his own barracks and make defensive spears. Well, this tower going up, I don't think there's anything Hoang can do about it. Is he gonna try and what? This is so weird. If red garrisons vills in here, I guess he only has one close by. He should be able to build this. Yeah, and Hoang, like he's struggling. This tower is not going to be denied. 1 villager died for Hoang. Now he has a few more vills. But what can he do? He's lost so much map control. This is the 5th tower red has built. Red is looking to build a 2nd tower, I think. And he hasn't scouted this stone, but this would be a great thing to deny from Hoang. And now, I just noticed, Hoang moved forward to this gold. I was wondering if he would do this. Has red spotted that? So red did spot this. And he's trying to tower it. Hoang, maybe being a bit more patient than I thought. And he's preemptively towering this gold. Not in the best position, honestly. But if he can get gold, then he can make some military units to really damage red later on, because his economy's, believe it or not, slightly stronger. He kills one of red's vills. Red has this tower up now, and he's building a barracks here. This is the first time he's built any military buildings. We're running into the same situation we ran into earlier, where Hoang's tower does not really protect his villagers here all that much. But I think he has enough vills attacking this, and the fact that he's adding some few late scouts means that he could kill some vills here. Red's got some weak ones. Yeah, here are the weak villagers, and those scouts, they're going to find some free kills. Hoang even fighting with his own villagers. He's sending more out. And red has low HP vills. This is just like last game where red had to go forward and be aggressive. He's lost 2 vills. Hoang, it's messy to micro with scouts and your own villagers. But he's done a nice job, and also the hills are helping him big time. This chick is just a meat shield, and nice micro too. Look, is he gonna kill another one? He will. The spears will make it difficult for the scouts, but he saved his gold. He's building an archery range now. He's 42 vills versus 27. Red just kind of gave up here, and he realized, okay, Hoang is focused on the golds. So I need to pressure here and just mine my own gold forward. Now, I don't know how this is happening. That caught my eye. Hoang is towering over the palisade wall. I don't know, maybe the guy has skinny arms and it's going down between the pieces of wood in the wall. But either way, this tower will be nice to protect some of this area, and it'll stop red from progressing in with any more towers, and I'd say big advantage for Hoang now. So red strategized. He knew that Hoang was going to go with the extra militia. We haven't truly got to see where he goes with extra militia and then goes into walls and then knights. But the guy, he's successful even when someone towers him when he has only militia. And you know what's funny here? Red doesn't have enough vills to hide in that TC to damage these units. Zico is so bad, even out here on the deer. Good lord. This tower proving to be a wise decision for Hoang as red tries to build another one, and I think he's just trying to find ways back into this. A tower rush is a high risk, high reward strategy, and I don't think the risk has really paid off here for red, who actually doesn't have the food to create villagers now, which is making his eco even worse. The only food that he's bringing in is from the deer, and oh dear, archers and scouts are coming to town. And Don is in trouble. Still going to try and tower, as he probably should at this stage. But look at Hoang's resources. He has stone. He's been collecting it here. He has gold. He's been collecting it here. He's building a market to buy resources he's missing out on. Everything red has at home is on this gold. I almost feel bad for him because his map was garbage. But I'm still impressed that Hoang was able to overcome losing his main gold and losing his secondary gold and stay alive in this. Protecting his wood line, getting to this gold at the perfect time, because if he lost this game would be completely different. And it looks like his palisade walls were enough to delay red when red had feudal age advantage over him. I think it all starts when someone's tower rushing. It all starts with noticing that they're going with a tower rush, and he did that well by scouting the stone initially, and then by building the outposts. And then he was able to buy himself a teensy bit of time, and now he's on his way to castle. Once again, Hoang games rarely last very long. Red might need to fully rely on the market now. Yes, he's buying as much food as possible. The overlay bugs out at times. He was unable to afford 600 food, that's for sure. And if you're in Red's position, you need to be doing damage in feudal age, otherwise you're going to die in castle, and he's not doing any damage now. He's just hoping that he's delayed long enough and trying to buy his way up to castle. How many gold miners does he have? 25. I mean, at least he hasn't resigned. We can respect him for that, right? I just wonder if he's pissed off about this guy's strats. I've decided we're going to add a third game into this video since they're so short. And since Hoang has a pretty defined style of going with so many militia, walls, and then knights, maybe I will try and show you a third game to see how red does, because I think they played 4. But I hope you guys find this interesting, because this does not look like a pretty style at all. It really doesn't. There's an efficiency going on. There are losses we normally don't see at the high level. But Hoang, he's a very smart player with the strat. And even up against a tower rush, when he was stuck in Dark Age and had a 16-minute feudal, which is so very late, he was able to get the castle. And now he's just going to make knights. I don't think we'll have any issues killing off red. Oh, he got some upgrades on the scouts too, so he'll kill, what is that, 3 more villagers. And yes, red, who's finally clicked to Castle Age, he knows, yeah, this is over for me. And he calls the GG. So I want to look at the achievements of this one. It should be pretty obvious. Hoang had the advantage in food because he had so many farms in Dark Age and onwards, but it's just amazing, this Hoang guy. It's so different. I was watching Fire actually cast some Hoang games, and Fire was just laughing. he can't understand why Hoang is so successful, but Hoang, he beats really high rated players. I saw him beating a player called Bakht, who's another tyrant player, with this strategy. We're going to get into that third game. Alright guys, so this is the third and final game between these players. Actually, I have to make the overlay work again, 1 second. This should solve it. Boom. Yep, so this is the third game. We saw the first 2, and Hoang has gone with his militia multiple times. Again, it's a Hun's War. This time, the bases are a little bit cleaner for him. Maybe he will be able to go for his standard militia into walls, into knights. You know, it's got to be baffling when you know what the guy's going for to not be able to beat it. And Don has tried 2 different things, and he has failed. Now, I'm looking at the ratings of the players, and I think I may have mixed up the order of the games, but you could kind of catch what's going on here. Don is trying to find a way to beat this Hoang player. Hoang has woodline here. He has a main gold on the back. Wonderful stuff. He does have awkward hills on the front, but he has 2 woodlines to choose from there, and he could easily Hoang-style wall this one, which we have yet to see, really. We've yet to see his huge palisade into stone walls. His main stone's forward, so if Don wants to go with another tower rush, that possibility is definitely open for him. The secondary gold is here, and the third is actually way up on this hill, as well as this other stone. So this would maybe be a map where if Don scouts it, he could go aggressive once again. We'll look at Don's base. It's funny, I don't feel like it's necessary to ever look at Don's base because he is almost always going to be the aggressor. Hoang's aggression, I guess, is just very different. It's only militia, but anyway, his base is pretty good. Main stone is kind of bugged, but it's not too bad because you'd likely build your military buildings in front of that. He can wall off to the edge of the map here, and he has these wood lines and 2 golds protected in the back. And then he has wood on the right, and in fact, this would be a great town center place later on in the game. Build a town center on the wood and the gold. He also doesn't have hills that would hurt him, so I'd say Don has the better map here. I'm going to speed through the feudal age. I'm not going to go through the other mumbo-jumbo. We kind of know what we could expect here. Don going to steal a sheep. What? Look at that lumber camp. That is an awful lumber camp. That is a disgusting lumber camp. Luckily, he's microing his vills a little bit. I love it. I love how the guy can be successful with these weird things. So I could show you hundreds of Hoang games. If you guys want to see more of him, let me know. He does play on a regular basis. He was online today when I was recording this before my trip. I've seen 3 different things that he does. He full palisade walls and fast castles. Oh, he's laming. Don, you picked on the wrong guy. Oh. Okay, Hoang needs to snag this boar again. 1 hit should send it chasing after him. So he full palisade walls and just goes straight fast castle into knights. He does his militia into full palisade and then cav archers or knights. Or he wins the game when someone tries to go aggressive versus him and he defends. Like, those are the only 3 things that ever happen. I don't think I've seen a game on his account that has gone past I think the longest one I saw was 40 minutes, so I don't think I've seen a game in a 1v1 that's gone on past that. He's already sending the villagers to gold, so we will see some militia. Now, he has 3 boars, and Don, he probably came forward to try and lame himself. He got that 1 sheep, remember, and now to compensate for the loss of the boars, he will go for a deer lore or 2. The funny thing is, when you get lamed like that, sometimes you end up going for a Dark Age rush or a drush because, well, you're not going to have the resource to click to feudal in the time you'd like. It's almost like Hoang's next level tactic is to lame to force his opponent to drush, which is what he's doing anyway. He always commits to more militia. Oh, it's funny. So Don is going for his own militia. And that was a pretty good lame for Hoang because he didn't lose a lot of scout HP. But yeah, Don is going to wall now. You see 3 militia for Hoang, and Hoang... Oh, he stopped there so far. Lots of extra food for him this time. Didn't build a mining camp. If you notice, this lumber's inefficient. He has way more on wood than you would probably see from other top players. He is making the 4th militia now, so it's not standard. And he's also using his scout well. Like, even though he does weird things, he does the standard stuff where you scout, you notice what your opponent's doing, and you react to it, just like a pro would. And is he going to follow Red's militia? Unfortunately, these wolves are around. Don't want to run into them. There's one more here. Well, Hoang. Oh, yep, here come the walls. This is good. This is good. So he scouted his base very well. He knows where he can wall. He is sending a 4th militia forward. Oh no, it could run into 2 wolves. Woo, woo, woo. And we have what looks like a standard Dark Age drush going on with Hoang stopping at 4 militia. He just doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to allow Red to get to his base. And, oh no! Don't tell me he's gonna lose this! Oh no! Oh, nature is against him. Well, we're gonna see a woo-woo-woo there. Sorry, Hoang. Just not your game. The wolf killed that one too! At least the wolf is trying to get a piece of Don. But that's 3 militia for Don. That's a very good situation for him, I'd say. He is later to feudal age with the same amount of vills, but he has a better map to wall up, in my opinion. Hoang. Okay. Now, trying to palisade wall this. I don't think can go to fast castle anyway. He only has 350 food. Red also lacking the food. And, oh, Red sending forward villagers. Okay. Well, you know what? Hoang could have spotted this. Hoang didn't. And Hoang doesn't have the militia to combat these vills. Red's going forward once again. So I don't know much about Don. I don't know if he has a certain style, and that includes forwards, or if he's doing this to combat Hoang. But Hoang is committing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 villagers out of 9 villagers out of 27 to walling up. And he's only seen 3 militia. You don't see this from experts at all, because any other expert would say this is too much idle time. But Hoang goes, well, I think it's worth it if I build 2 layers of palisade walls. I think it's worth it. Now, if someone is going to wall like this, what you should do is you should go forward, build a tower, and then you can allow your military entry, because they won't be able to wall behind that tower. And I guess I was incorrect, though this won't be very easy for Hoang. He hasn't made any military buildings, so it seems like he will try and go for the fast castle into Knights. Yeah, building a blacksmith before a stable. And he's using his scouts here, but he can't really see how Don has his resources set up with stone and gold and wood, so he can't really get an idea of what's happening. But now he sees this tower. Okay. We'll see archers, I guess. And then some towers from Red. And oh my goodness, Hoang. Just look at these stone walls now. He started with the palisade walls. Maybe he's thinking he should have gone with the double palisade on this side. He's adding more palisade walls. I like this tower a lot. In fact, this is going to be some wasted time for Red, because he can't run in this way So he's chosen the wrong piece of wall to push in on. He really can't harass the golds either, so this tower placement is pretty nice for Hoang, who is building that stable with 4 vills now. Just lacking the food to click up to castle. Very inefficient economy. But for now, it seems like he's fine, and with the stone walls here and the tower here, he's protected himself. And now he's on his way to castle. So, as someone who plays this game, and is very close to hitting 2k on Voobly, which is like top 1% of the world ever. It's very hard to do. Like, this kind of makes me sad, honestly. Like, should I play with Hoang style to get to 2k on Voobly? It's really not pretty, is it? It's just very successful, and I think that watching the recorded games makes it look like it's bad, but when you play against him, he's very smart. Who knows? It kind of makes me sad, because like, this is not an aggressive strat whatsoever. You see one villager sneaking out of the palisades. Like, this is just different. Now Don is sending forward another villager. Oh, does he see? Don! No way! He wasn't patrolling his military, most likely because he wasn't expecting Hoang to have any villagers outside of these walls, and Hoang is going to sneak a vill forward. And now Red, because he knows what Hoang is doing, he's going to try and panic up some stone walls. This is a good decision. If your opponent's going to be castle faster than you, but they're full wall, just wall yourself. And he has collected stone. But what's this dude going to do? I imagine he's going to build a siege workshop. I guess we'll see. Hoang seeing the walls. Red maybe wants to tower here? Not sure what that dude's doing. Hoang immediately making 3 knights. Has a defense upgrade, so can he pick off this vill? Yeah, he will pick off the vill, and forward siege workshop. Like, this looks so simple, and yet it's really not. It's just Hoang things. So weird. Full walled at home. Made 4 militia this game, so I guess it wasn't that crazy. He's making Red look like a fool, guys. He's making Red look like a fool. Now, I would just cry for Red if these stone walls do not finish. And yes, he should finish. This is still wide open. In fact, this villager could have been idle for a while, but we'll just pretend it wasn't. He'll finish the stone walls. He's on his way to castle himself. And can he kill this vill? It would be amazing if he could kill the villager. It's worth sacrificing everything to kill him. I don't think he will. And knights from Hoang gonna finish off the militia. At least on the bright side, Red knows that there's forward here. But he's definitely going to need to be careful because the mangonels are going to be made. Actually, battering rams immediately. The battering rams are just going to try and batter down these walls. Interesting stuff. One stable for Hoang. He has way too many villagers on gold, in my opinion. Well, actually, I'm sorry. If he's going with a monastery and a siege workshop, that's probably alright. I'm just trying to point out this is not normal. What he does is not normal. This is a Hun's war. He's gone with 4 militia. He's gone into full wall. 1 stable knights now. And now a siege workshop with 3 siege units and a monastery. Now, it's actually brilliant if you think about it. Because the monk can stop any villagers from falling behind with a conversion. The monk also will heal any knights after the attack. A mangonel can also range over top the walls, and the battering ram's going to take down the walls. The Red's plan is to go into pikemen, which is also different, and he's just now hit castle age. He's under pressure though. The battering rams, they've battered their way through. They will batter their way through this barracks quickly. So Red needs to upgrade to pikemen with this one. He has done so. Now these knights, they only have 1 defense upgrade, but the problem with pikemen here is they could die to the mangonels depending on how Hoang's micro is. His micro is normally pretty good. We saw in the other games that since he's always focusing on the aggression with either militia or villagers, he doesn't add extra town centers. He's normally pretty good at dealing with these fights. You could also get conversions on the pikemen. The Red going with a monastery, and he's going to try and get knight converts. I mean, this is going to be tough because Red, if he makes 1 mistake, the game is over, and he can't. Like, this barracks is where he's creating pikemen. He just lost it. couple conversions there for Hoang. Weak pikeman for red because the Mangonel shots. Oh, this is a disaster for Don. He builds another town center. I kind of like this because he does need to protect his eco. But does he have an answer for these knights? He really does not. Has to build another barracks now. He has one monk in this monastery, but the monastery will soon go down. And a great micro from Hoang. He's building another forward monastery. This is a Hun's war. 2 more pikemen, 3 more pikemen going down. Villagers underneath the TC gonna die. 4 villagers in one volley there. Oh, look, the counter Mangonel from red. Can he get one more shot off? Oh, that's nice. That's 3 Mangonels down. Question is it going to be enough? That was well done from red. He eliminated the Mangonel threat. But he's down in vills. He has more idle time. He's trying to get a knight conversion. Please, use the battering ram to kill the monk. Use the battering ram to kill the monk. Please, please, please. Red, what are you doing, man? Yo, Don. Don! Yeah, Don's in trouble. Don's in trouble. 18 idols out of 40 vills. He just simply cannot find an answer. He doesn't have food. He doesn't have gold, so he can't buy food in this situation, which is normally what you do when you start panicking. And Hoang probably knows he's A-okay. He'll convert any pikemen that do come out of the barracks. He'll take out the monastery, so his knights can have free reign then. And even this villager, this boss villager who has been healed multiple times and built all of these forward buildings, he's going to repair the Mangonel. And I don't know. Like, Don trying to use his market. Oh, I see. He wanted to make a Mangonel, but he can't make a Mangonel. Maybe he'll just get this out, but he'll lose the Siege Workshop soon. Now, I think Red ran out here. He walled this up again, and he's been attacking this Mangonel with the Vill. Now, that's funny. That's funny. The villager got converted, but the Mangonel still went down. Siege Workshop being repaired by Red. The Knights have arrived, and I think the splash damage from Red's own Mangonel has finished off his Siege Workshop, and Don's gonna call the GG. Weird. Weird. That entire game, Hoang was on one town center. Militia, into walls, into aggression, and he does very good job. Now, I might cast some live games on Twitch of this player. I have him on my watch list, so if he ends up playing, we'll cast some games. But it's just messy, and the guy is legendary because he does it almost every single time. He's going for more than 3 militia. He's going into double palisade walls or stone walls, and then knights, and he wins. Now, I think Don is a little bit lower rated here, but a lot of times Hoang, he skips eco upgrades. He skips essential stuff. His lumber camp placements aren't the best, but he wins games, and I can appreciate that. So if we find him on Twitch sometime, maybe we can see what he does with some live feedback from Twitch. You guys could talk about what you think of it. But if you're watching this on YouTube, definitely let me know what you think of this player. It's not my traditional legend video, but I think this guy deserves the tag because he's played thousands of games with this strat, just like Harry Davis has and Fatsob. Just that this guy happens to be very, very good at it. So I will show the achievements of this final game. And here is the kill-death ratio for him. Obviously, everything went pretty well for him, even though he lost those militia to the wolves. His economy is likely stronger. Yes, it is. And the kills obviously stronger for him as well. The uptimes, well, he advanced the Castle Age a bit faster. But nothing in the Imperial Age in his games normally. In fact, I'm going to pull up his profile since we're talking about it. And let me see if this should show it. Let me see if his games went to Imp recently. So this is his profile. I could click the matches. This is on February 10th. This is where I got the games from. Oh, of course. Of course, the first one I go to. First Don as well. He went to Imp. But let's see if I can predict what happened here. Hoang, probably full walled, and fast castled. Let's see. I think these were some of the ones that we just did. Yep. No castle time for Dawn there. Let's see. They play each other a lot apparently. Pick another one. Okay, Slam played him, and Slam. Yep, finished him off in Castle Age. I mean, this is standard Hoang stuff. So I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on this player's style in the YouTube comments. It's not flashy, it's nothing special, but it is unique and he is successful with it. Also, as always, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like on the video and I will see you next time, guys.